what's good, YouTube? If y'all don't know me, I'm Five. Guys, I don't know if you guys know about this book called The 48 Laws of Power, right? That's what it's called. Well, I heard about this book a long time ago. My dad has this book. And some of my friends, they always talk about this book like, oh, like, I don't know, no one really ever finished it. People go crazy after reading this book. I never understood why. So today we're going to answer the video so they can explain it to us.
There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who are moved like chess pieces, and those who move them. History has never once rewarded
There are two people. Those who move like chess pieces and those who move. God, I'm using
innocence.
it.
Power is not something you are handed.
Low key, guys, my bad. I'm already on TikTok. Let me just cook that up, bro. There are two people in the world. No, okay. Hey, sorry if this video is taking long. There are two types of people in the world. No, is that what they said? What they said?
Those who are moved like... There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who are...
Okay, I got it. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who move like chess pieces and those who move them. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to cook up with that later. I don't know what I'm going to do, but let's just get it.
Movements taken. It is engineered. It is built quietly, through strategy, through human psychology, and sometimes through methods that make comfortable people deeply uncomfortable.
I'm going to edit all that out.
Robert
too,
Greene's
so
book, The 48 Laws of Power, is one of the most controversial books ever written.
Why?
Libraries have debated banning it.
Why?
Executives have devoured it in secret. Inmates in American prisons have studied it more than almost any other book on earth. Why? Because it does not preach. It does not moralize. It simply tells you how the world actually operates, underneath the polite surface of things. Today we are going through every single one of the 48 laws.
Let's go, guys. We have
All
to
of them.
read the book.
Not skimmed, not summarized
go.
into neat little motivational quotes,
All right,
but
bro.
actually
Give
decoded
it to me.
with
Drop it
real
down.
historical examples that show you why these laws work. If you stay until the end, you will understand human nature at a level most people
Patty,
never
what?
reach in a lifetime.
What do you...
And more importantly, you will never be the pawn again. Let us begin in 17th
will never be the
century
pawn again.
France, at the most spectacular party in history. Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister to King Louis XIV, wanted to impress his king. So he threw a party at his personal chateau. Fireworks, fine food, thousands of guests, the most magnificent event France had ever seen. He genuinely believed this display of wealth and taste would earn him favor. The next morning, Louis XIV had him arrested. Fouquet spent the rest of his life in a prison cell. Law 1. Never outshine the master. The people above you, your boss, your patron, your investor,
Okay,
must
Law 1.
always feel superior. Show your talent, absolutely. But the moment they begin to feel overshadowed, insecure, or threatened, you become a liability. Make them feel brilliant, and you will be protected. Make them feel small, and you will be removed. This is not pessimism. This is how power structures have worked throughout all of recorded history. The rest of the foundational laws build on this core insight. Law 2 tells you to be cautious about trusting friends
Okay,
too
so first law, if you guys are not following law, do not let your boss feel like he's above you, okay? No. Let your boss feel like he's above you. So you can stay around and, keep making that paper and keep doing your thing. That's the first law. Do not overshadow.
deeply.
No, outshadow.
Friendship is layered with emotion.
What was this
It's
law?
about trusting friends
That used to be caused about trusting
deeply.
friends too.
Friendship is layered with emotion, jealousy, and assumptions. A former enemy whom you forgive will often work twice as hard to prove their loyalty, because they have something to prove. Your closest friend assumes you owe them everything. Law 3 is about concealing your intentions.
Okay, that was pretty
Otto
quick.
von Bismarck built modern Germany not through declarations
What was
or
Law 3?
intentions. Otto von Bismarck built modern Germany not through declarations, but through strategic opacity. When people cannot read your next move, they cannot block it. Law 4 says to
When
say
people
less
cannot
than
predict your
necessary.
next move, they cannot block it.
Louis XIV, terrified, says to say less than necessary.
Right.
Louis XIV terrified his courtiers not with threats, but with silence. Words reveal you. Silence forces others to guess. And guessing makes people anxious. And anxious people make mistakes. Law 5 treats your reputation as your most valuable asset. It can take decades to build, and one careless moment to destroy. Protect it with the same ferocity you would protect your life.
Wait,
Most
what?
valuable asset. It can take decades to build, and one careless moment to destroy. Protect it with the same ferocity you would protect your life. Law 6
Oh, shit.
insists on commanding attention.
Basically,
Thomas Edison understood Law 6
yeah, nah. What was law 4 again? Oh my god. Oh, say less than necessary. Yeah, of course, yes. Law 5 is like protect your reputation.
insists on commanding attention.
Okay,
Thomas
insists on
Edison
commanding
understood
attention.
something Nikola Tesla did not. Genius alone is invisible. The person who captures public imagination wins, even if they are not the most technically gifted in the room. Tesla may have been the better scientist. Edison became a legend. Law 7 is pragmatic and unsentimental. Let others do the work, but ensure the credit is yours. Law 8 says, do not work.
Wait,
Law
what?
7 is pragmatic and unsentimental. Let others do the work,
Work
but
done by
ensure the credit is yours.
Okay.
Law 8 says, do not go to people, make people come to you. When you control the location, the terms, and the pace of any interaction, you control the outcome. Law 9 is perhaps the cleanest of the
Do
early
not
laws.
go to people, make people come
Win
to
through
you.
your actions, not your arguments. Debate exhausts people. Results,
What was
arguments.
this law? Oh my god,
The early
these
law.
guys are running through this, bro.
Win
Win through your
through
action,
your actions,
not your argument.
not your arguments. Debate exhausts people. Results silence them. For 10 years, the Greek army could not breach the walls of Troy. Then they stopped trying. They built a massive wooden horse, left it on the beach as a gift, and sailed away as if defeated. The Trojans celebrated their victory, dragged the horse inside the gates, and that night, soldiers hidden inside it opened the city from within. Law 12. Use selective honesty to disarm your target.
Bro, what? What was law 11 again? Fast. Anyways.
One genuine act of openness or generosity can dissolve years of
What was
target.
this? Okay, relax. Yo, relax.
12.
Use selective honesty to disarm your target.
Use selective honesty to disarm your target. One genuine act of openness or generosity can dissolve years of suspicion. It is not manipulation in the crude sense. It is understanding that people lower their guard when they feel they have received something real.
Okay.
The Trojan horse was not just a military strategy. It was a psychological one. Law 15 follows a harder principle. Crush your enemy completely.
Okay.
When Rome finally defeated Carthage, their great rival, they did not simply claim victory. They burned the city to the ground, salted the earth, and erased Carthage from the map.
Wow.
Brutal, yes, but the lesson is clear. A wounded enemy does not forget. Mercy left
That's true.
unearned becomes a future threat. The remaining laws of this chapter form a protective intelligence.
Mercy left unearned. Oh wow.
Law
that
10
that was
warns
good.
you away from the chronically miserable. Suffering, bitterness, and bad luck are contagious in social ecosystems. People who are perpetually unfortunate often unconsciously drag others down with them. Law 11 builds your strategic security. Make others depend on you. When people need you, they protect you. Law 13
What?
when builds your strategic security. Make others depend on you. When people need you, they protect you. Law 13 says,
That's true.
when you need a favor,
That's
appeal
true.
to someone's
When you need someone, you protect them because when something happens to them, then you're cooked.
interests. Law 13 says, when you need a favor, appeal to someone's interests, not their Compassion. People respond to what benefits them far more reliably than they respond to your need. Law 14
That's
advises
true.
you to act like a friend while thinking like an
Yo, Maddie! Thank you so much for joining the franchise. Love you.
intelligence officer. The most valuable information is gathered through casual conversation, not interrogation. Law
Wait,
6
what?
is thinking like an intelligence officer. The most valuable information is gathered through casual conversation,
Okay.
not interrogation. Law 16 is one of the most powerful.
So have very,
Create
you guys gotta have very genuine conversations with people, just like chill stuff, so that you're able to like, you know, build a friendship. Or like you get to know the information you want.
value through absence. When you are always available, always present, always responsive, you become ordinary. Strategic withdrawal makes people remember why they value you. Law 17 says stay unpredictable. The moment someone can model your behavior, they can outmaneuver you. Consistency is a form of vulnerability. Law 18 cautions
So don't be consistent. Hold on, wait, what? We just watching a video of being consistent. How's that?
against isolation. Building walls around yourself might feel safe, but it cuts you off from information, alliances, and opportunities.
What are you watching? Okay, so right now we're watching Why Everyone Fears This Book, 48 Laws of Power, and we're just learning about the 48 Laws of Power.
Power lives in connection, not in fortresses. Law 19 is a warning rooted in common sense.
Pick battles
Know who
wisely.
you are dealing with before you engage.
Right.
Stalin's political opponents did not merely lose their careers, they disappeared.
What?
Picking the wrong battle against the wrong person is not bravery, it is waste. Charles Manson never personally committed the murders his followers carried out. He never needed to. He had done something far more powerful. He had replaced the logic in people's heads with a story. He gave them identity.
Story beats
He
logic.
gave them belongings. He gave them a mission. He made himself the center of their emotional universe. And that is exactly why Law 27 is perhaps the most chilling in the entire book.
Oh, the most chill.
Play on
Wow.
people's need to believe, and you can create a following that will do almost anything. Human beings are not primarily rational. We are primarily emotional, and we use reason to justify what we already feel. The person who understands this and directs it ethically becomes a leader. The person who understands this without conscience becomes something far more dangerous.
Wait,
The surrounding
Believe
of this without justify
what?
rational. We
Belief creates
are
followers.
primarily
Bro, what? We're primarily emotional.
emotional, and we use reason to justify what we already feel.
Emotions first, logic later.
The person who understands this
Influence, use responsibility equals leadership.
and directs it ethically becomes a leader. The person who understands this without conscience becomes something far more dangerous. The surrounding laws in this
Influence without conscience equals danger.
chapter complete a portrait of the master strategist.
Interesting.
Law 20 says, never fully commit to any single side in a conflict. Stay neutral where you can. Let others fight, while you position yourself as the indispensable third party.
Right.
Law 21 is one of the most
So they
counterintuitive.
can both love you.
Play dumb. When people believe they are the smartest in the room, they relax and reveal themselves. Intelligence, worn visibly, makes people defensive. Law 22 says that when you are genuinely out
That's bro. I seen somebody use that shit, and it's kind of crazy because I always think like, yo, there's no way this person is that dumb. I already read this book.
matched, surrender strategically.
Wait, what?
22 says that when you are genuinely outmatched, surrender strategically. You buy time. You lower the opponent's guard, and you live to rebuild. Law 23 demands concentration of force. In business, in relationships, in creative work, scattered effort produces scattered results. Focus is power. Law 24 Law 23 demands concentration of force.
Concentration
In business, in relationships, in
Too many goals, no progress.
creative work, scattered effort produces scattered results. Focus is power. Law 24 is about playing the social game with elegance. Flattery, handled clumsily, is obvious and insulting. Handled with grace, it is disarming. Law 25 is personal and profound. Recreate yourself. Do not let your
Personal and
background,
profound?
your upbringing, or
Imagine these makes you so scary, bro. Literally, I don't even know. We gotta get
other
on this.
people's expectations. Do not let your background, your upbringing, or other people's expectations write your identity. Choose who you are becoming and build that person deliberately. Law 26 is cold but practical.
Okay.
Keep your hands clean. When difficult or controversial things must be done, ensure someone else is formally responsible. History judges those whose names are on the deed. Law 28 says, enter every venture with boldness.
Confidence
Hesitation
key.
signals
Been
weakness.
telling you guys.
People feel confidence before they analyze competence. Law 29 demands that you plan to the very end. Most people plan for their next move. The strategist plans for the final outcome and works backwards. Law 30
Wait,
add a
what?
plan to the very end.
Plan to the
Most
very
people
end.
plan for their next move. The strategist plans for the final outcome and works backwards.
How do you do that? How do you do that? How do you plan for the final outcome and work backwards?
Law 30 is about the aesthetics of achievement. Make success look effortless. When people see you struggle, they see your limitations. When success looks natural, it looks inevitable. When J. Edgar Hoover wanted to dismantle Al Capone's criminal empire, he did not attempt to arrest every gangster in Chicago. He focused entirely on one man. Get Capone, and the entire structure collapses. Law 42. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. Every
Strike the
organization,
shepherd. Oh,
every
well, that,
movement,
yeah, that makes sense.
every gang derives its power from a central node. Remove that node, and what remains is directionless. This is not merely a principle of war. It is a principle of organizational psychology, and understanding it protects you as much as it arms you. The laws of this chapter are about narrative control, how power is maintained not just through force, but through perception.
Right.
Law 31 says give people options, but only options you have designed. The illusion of choice is one of the most powerful control mechanisms in existence. Law 32 says to appeal to people's fantasies. Reality is often disappointing. The person who can...
Bro, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really taking in so much information right now that I can't even speak. I swear, I've been trying to lock in and react to the video as but it's like I'm taking in so much information. My brain, that I understand now why people don't read this book. I could barely read. Imagine if I sitting through this entire book, bro.
paint a compelling vision of what
I'm trying to take it all
reality
in
is
now.
often disappointing. The person who can paint a compelling vision of what could be holds enormous influence over people who are dissatisfied with what is. Law 33 says, find every person's weak point, their particular fear or particular desire. Everyone has one. It is the lever that, when moved, moves everything else. Law 34 is essentially this. Behave
Yeah,
like
me
someone
too.
worthy of
Bro,
respect,
that has an
and
overload.
you will
What is this
restore
law?
is essentially this. Behave like someone worthy of respect, and you will receive it. The world takes you largely at your own estimation. Law 35 says, learn to wait. Timing transforms the same action from disaster to triumph. Impatience is one of the most reliable paths to failure. Law 36 is elegant in its simplicity. What you cannot have, ignore. Desperation makes you controllable. Indifference makes you powerful. Law 37 says, create spectacles.
What was that out?
Desperation makes you controllable. Cannot have, ignore.
Okay.
Desperation makes you controllable.
Right.
Indifference makes you powerful.
It being different.
Law 37 says, create spectacles.
Drama
Human
with
attention is won through the visual and the dramatic, not through logic and footnotes. Law 38 advises you to think independently, but behave conventionally enough to avoid becoming a target. Being visibly different invites attack. Save your individuality for what matters. Law 39 says, stir the waters when it serves you. An angry opponent is a sloppy opponent. Provoke carefully and let their reaction become their undoing. Law 40 says, never trust the free lunch. Everything that appears to cost nothing has a hidden price.
Oh
In
my
obligation,
God.
independency,
That's
or in your
true.
own self-respect. Law 41 warns against or in your own self-respect has a hidden price. In obligation, independency, or in your own self-respect. Law 41 warns against stepping into a great person's shadow. If you follow a legend in the same role, in the same institution, you will always be compared unfavorably. In the same a great person's self-respect. Law 41
Wait,
warns
what?
against stepping into a great person's shadow. If you follow a legend in the same role, in the same institution, you will always be compared unfavorably. Build your own territory. Bruce Lee once said something that sounds simple until you really sit
Wow.
with it. Be like water. Water has no fixed form. Pour it into a cup and it becomes the cup. Freeze it and it becomes a weapon. Release it and it becomes a force that erodes mountains. You cannot hold it. You cannot cut it. You cannot predict it.
So be
Law
like water.
48. Assume formlessness. The person who commits rigidly to one strategy, one identity, one method becomes predictable. And predictable things can be anticipated, countered, and destroyed. The world does not stop changing because you have decided on a plan.
That's
The
true.
strategist must be fluid, adaptive, and impossible to pin down.
Okay, so basically, like, oh my God, Law 41 is so accurate. Bro, I'm gonna run down through all these laws again.
The final laws sharpen
I
this
gotta watch
endgame.
it at least 5 more times.
Law 43 says, do not simply rule. Final
was it?
laws sharpen this endgame. Changing because you have decided to pin down.
Okay, you gotta change things
The
up.
final
right?
laws sharpen this endgame. Law 43 says, do not simply rule through fear. Fear produces compliance,
Do not
but
rule through
generates
fear.
resentment.
Do
Win
not
people's
rule through-
minds
okay.
and hearts, and you generate loyalty that persists even when you are not watching. Law 44 is the mirror effect, reflecting people on themselves. Do what they do. It unsettles them, confuses their aggression, and often forces them to confront the absurdity of their own behavior. Law 45 says, advocate for change gradually. Radical disruption frightens people, even when it would benefit them. Move incrementally, and the transformation becomes invisible until it is irreversible.
Okay.
Law 46
Slow
says,
change feels
do
safe.
not project perfection.
Yeah, I gotta write this whole thing down.
People are drawn to excellence,
Seriously.
but threatened by flawlessness. A person who seems too perfect becomes a target for envy. And people are drawn. Law 46 says, do not project perfection. People are drawn to excellence, but threatened by flawlessness. A person who seems too perfect becomes a target for envy. And envy, left to fester, turns friends into quiet enemies. Law 47 says, know when to stop. Victory has a natural conclusion. The leaders who have destroyed their own legacies throughout history are rarely the ones who failed to win. They are the ones who could not stop after winning. Success makes people reckless. Discipline means knowing when the game is over. These
So, guys, so know once you won.
48 laws
cannot
are
keep,
not
like,
a
you
moral
don't-
system. They do not tell you what is
Wow.
right or wrong. What they tell you
I can't even explain it to you guys because this shit is that's cooking my brain, bro. Oh my God, this actually is frying me, bro. But anyways, just know when to win. Once you won, do not try to get greedy and keep doing this. And low key, that's something I always try to push to, even whenever I like go out. So things like, once you got something, right? Once you did something maybe we're not supposed to do, don't get greedy and try to do it more of it. Like, bro, you did it once, cool. Like, if you do a drug or some type of whatever, right? Don't overdo it, right? Bro, just okay. Do enough where you're gonna feel okay. not the bet like insane, but good enough to keep you going. And then you little by little you keep adding more to it.
How power actually functions in offices, in families, in governments,
Yeah, me
in
too.
relationships, in history, in the street. Whether you choose to use any of these laws actively is entirely your decision,
Okay. Well, others are already playing.
but not knowing them has its own cost. The world is full of people who understand these dynamics perfectly well. If you don't, you are not standing outside the game. You are simply losing it without realizing you were ever a player.
Shit. Okay, guys. So that's how. Wow, this video was a lot. But if you took something in from this video, I hope you guys sit down to this video again, watch it again, write it down because these are some very important laws. Like actually, like a lot of these things I know, a lot of these things I didn't know, but they make sense, and you actually gotta apply them into your life in order to be successful in a way. Because once you know you apply these things, you're able to you move way like you're more smart than somebody that doesn't know these laws. So with that being said, hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.